Just want to give you my thoughts as a Singaporean. And I know if you're from America, you're not from around this region, you must be looking at this video going, huh?
But how are you Singaporean though? Like, I thought Singapore was in China, you know? In the movie, all the Singaporeans were Chinese.
You just look Indian. Like, how are you Singaporean? How, you know, if you're bored, it's a really fun drinking game. Is you bring yourself a bottle of vodka, go watch the movie, all right? And every single time a brown person shows up, drink a shot of vodka. Okay, just drink a shot of vodka. I promise you at the end of the movie, you will not be drunk. Because they're only like Filipino maids. The Indians in there were just guards. And that's about it. Like, it was just all Chinese people. But I'm so afraid, and I'm afraid as a Singaporean because of what this movie represents to the rest of the world. You know, to the rest of the world, this is probably the first time they've even heard about Singapore. Like, if I didn't know about Singapore and I watched it, this is what I would take away. One, that all Singaporeans are bitches. Like, they're so mean. Why are they so mean? The truth is, nah, we in Singapore, we cool. Number two, there's a lot of other food in Singapore, not just dumplings and crab. It's a multicultural city. And number three, in Singapore, very often you will see a brown person like me. We are a multicultural country, okay? We've got Indians, we've got Eurasians, we've got Malays, and then we have the Chinese. But it's just weird to me that in this movie, they did not have any one of these representations. I mean, I get it, okay? I get it. Don't raise your pitchforks just yet. I get it. The book was written about the 1%. The rich Chinese people in Singapore, because that's what the writer's experience was. Did the writer experience the rich Indians of Singapore? No, he didn't. Did the writer experience the rich Malays in Singapore? No, he didn't. He only experienced the Chinese people, and that's why the movie is about that. I think it's time we had more representation when it comes to this kind of international world stage. People are gonna think we're from China. You know what I mean? People are gonna think that all of Singapore is Chinese, which is not true, and this is why I said in the first part, I'm Singaporean too. I'm brown skinned and I'm Singaporean. I'm brown skinned and I'm Asian. That's why it's so important for representation, because as much as you as a Chinese person watching Crazy Rich Asians feel proud of Singapore, we want to feel proud too, but when we watch it and there's no representation, we feel left out. That's the word, okay? We feel left out. Yeah, okay, yes, it is a breakthrough for Hollywood, and I'm clapping for that Hollywood is finally opening up to, you know, telling stories of other people and other races and other cultures. But to all the Indian people out there and the Malay people who are just angry at the lack of representation, I need you to go watch this movie. Because after this movie, you'll be like, you know what, no, I'm good with Bollywood. Bollywood is very good already, thank you very much. It's not that amazing a movie. Like, honestly, the amount of negativity that was shown on screen, you know, depicted by the Singaporean family, honestly, I'm just like, okay, at least the Chinese people look bad. At least the Indians and Malays, we're still cool. You know, we're still cool. I honestly came out of the movie and I was like, okay, you know what, actually, I'm kind of glad that I wasn't represented in this movie in that sense, because that was really negative. Like, for a Singaporean, that was negative. It was a negative shade of Singaporeans, okay? Because Singaporeans are not like that. I like to think that Singaporeans are not like that. No, just because you were excluded from the movie and we're not represented in the movie, and this movie is called Crazy Rich Asians, I understand the sentiment of where you're coming from, that you're angry that you're not represented when you are supposed to portray a country with multicultural harmony. What's the word? Diversity. Multicultural diversity. That's what I was trying to say. I get it. But look at the bigger picture. Okay? This is definitely a step forward for Hollywood. And I'm glad that this movie was being made. And to all you Chinese people out there who are saying that we're too sensitive, for example, this tweet over here, you know, really? Like, that's not the point. Okay? That's not the point. Here's the fact of the matter. Okay? None of you privileged Chinese people in Singapore, I'm talking to the people in Singapore, none of you will ever understand what it feels like to be a minority in Singapore. So when you hear an Indian person or a Malay person or a Eurasian person talk about the lack of representation and the struggles of a minority, do not shut them up. Let us speak our piece, because we have the right to say it.